Welcome to Wise Parents, where we're correcting classic parenting mistakes one video at a time. Today, we're diving into a mistake so many of us have made, yelling at our kids. Have you ever found yourself raising your voice, hoping it'll get your child to listen, only to watch them dig their heels in deeper, becoming even more stubborn? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. In fact, it's one of the most common parenting traps out there. But here's the kicker: yelling might actually be making things worse. Let's paint a picture. It's 7 p.m., you've had a long day, work, errands, the usual chaos, and you walk into the kitchen to find juice splattered across the floor. Your 5-year-old, Mia, stands there, sticky hands and a guilty grin, while you're juggling a million things in your head. You ask her to grab a towel, but she just stares at you, unmoving. Your patience snaps, and out comes the yell, "Mia, why can't you listen for once? Get the towel now." She doesn't budge. Instead, she crosses her arms, glares back, and says, "No." Now you're locked in a standoff with a tiny human, and you're wondering, how did we get here? That moment, where yelling feels like your only option, is what we're unpacking today. Because here's the truth: yelling doesn't just fail to fix the problem, it can turn your child into a stubborn little warrior, fighting you every step of the way. And the worst part? Most of us don't even realize we're making this mistake until it's too late. So, why does yelling backfire? Why does it take a child who might have cooperated and turn them into a brick wall of defiance? In this video, we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at what this classic parenting mistake really is, why we yell, and what we think it's doing for us. Then, we'll dig into the science and stories that show why it's not just ineffective, but harmful. And finally, I'll give you simple, practical steps to stop yelling and start connecting with your child instead. By the end, you'll walk away with tools to transform those chaotic moments into opportunities for growth, for both you and your little one. But before we dive in, let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah's a mom of two, juggling a full-time job in a house that never stays clean. One evening, her son Jake, who's 4, refused to put his toys away. She'd asked nicely 3 times, but he just kept playing. Exhausted, Sarah snapped, "Jake, pick up your toys right now or they're going in the trash." Jake froze, then burst into tears, clutching his favorite truck. But instead of cleaning up, he threw it across the room and screamed, "I don't care." Later that night, as Sarah tucked him in, he looked up with big, wet eyes and whispered, "Mommy, do you hate me?" That question hit her like a ton of bricks. She realized her yelling wasn't just failing, it was breaking something precious between them. Does that hit home for you? Maybe you've had a moment where you yelled, then saw the hurt in your child's eyes, or the defiance, and wondered if there's a better way. Stick with me, because there absolutely is. Let's start by looking at why yelling feels so natural, yet sets us up for failure. Now that we've set the stage, let's analyze this parenting mistake, what it looks like and why so many of us fall into it. So, what exactly is this classic parenting mistake? It's simple: yelling at our children as a go-to way to discipline, correct, or just get their attention. It's that moment when your voice rises, your tone sharpens, and you're hoping the sheer volume will make your child snap to attention. But here's the catch: it rarely works the way we want it to. Why do we yell? For most of us, it's a mix of frustration, exhaustion, and habit. Parenting young children is relentless. You're up at dawn, managing tantrums, negotiating over broccoli, and cleaning up messes you didn't make. When your child ignores you for the 5th time, or outright defies you, it's like a pressure cooker hitting its limit. Yelling feels like a release, a way to reclaim control when you feel powerless. And let's be honest, many of us grew up with yelling. Maybe your parents raised their voices to get you in line, and it stuck with you as the way things are done. It's not that we want to yell, it's that we don't always know what else to do. In the heat of the moment, it's the fastest tool in our toolbox. Take Lisa and Mark, 2 parents in a local mom and dad group. Lisa swears she never yells, "It's lazy parenting," she says, "and it scares kids." Mark disagrees, sometimes yelling is the only thing that gets through to them. They need to know you're serious. The debate got heated, splitting the group down the middle. Some nodded with Lisa, others backed Mark. What do you think? Is yelling ever justified, or is it always a mistake? We'll get to the answer, but first, let's look at what yelling actually does. On the surface, it might seem effective. You yell, your child stops, or at least pauses, and you think, mission accomplished. But dig deeper, and the cracks show. That compliance? It's usually temporary, born out of fear or shock, not understanding. And over time, kids adapt. They tune out the noise, forcing you to yell louder or more often just to get the same reaction. It's a losing battle. Worse, yelling shifts the dynamic. Instead of teaching, you're intimidating. Instead of guiding, you're escalating. Your child might obey in the moment, but they're not learning how to make better choices, they're just avoiding the storm. And for some kids, it flips a switch. They don't back down, they push back harder. Think about Mia from earlier. When her mom yelled about the juice, Mia didn't grab the towel, she froze, then defied her mom outright. That's not just a tantrum, it's a signal. Yelling didn't correct her behavior, it fueled her stubbornness. And how many of us have been there? You yell to enforce a rule, only to end up in a bigger mess than before. It's a trap we fall into without realizing it's backfiring. The mistake isn't that we're bad parents, it's that we're relying on a flawed strategy. Yelling feels powerful, but it's a mirage. It promises control while quietly eroding the trust and connection we're trying to build. So why does it go so wrong? Let's break it down with some science and stories next. Understanding why we yell is step one. Now, let's explore why it's not just ineffective, it's actually making our kids more stubborn. Okay, we've established that yelling is a common mistake. But why does it make your child more stubborn? To get this, we need to peek inside their little heads and hearts. Spoiler alert, it's not because they're trying to drive you crazy. It's about how yelling rewires the moment. First, let's talk child psychology. When you yell, your child's brain doesn't hear a lesson, it hears a threat. Their amygdala, that almond-shaped alarm system, kicks into gear, triggering what's called the fight-or-flight response. Blood pumps, adrenaline spikes, and their rational brain, the prefrontal cortex, where logic and learning live, takes a back seat. In that state, they're not processing your words, they're reacting to your tone. For some kids, fight means defiance. They push back, get louder, or flat out refuse to budge. It's not disrespect, it's survival. Yelling makes them feel cornered, so they double down, turning a small issue into a full-on standoff. Ever notice how your child gets more stubborn after you yell? That's why. Behavioral science backs this up. Studies, like those from the American Academy of Pediatrics, show that frequent yelling can lead to toxic stress in kids. It's not just a bad moment, it can shape their brain over time, making them more anxious, aggressive, or withdrawn. And get this, kids who are yelled at regularly are less likely to internalize rules. They resist because they're not learning why, they're just dodging the noise. Let's meet Tom and his daughter, Lily, age 6. Tom was a yeller. When Lily dawdled over homework, he'd shout, "You're wasting time, get it done." One night, after a big blow-up, Lily stopped doing homework altogether. She'd sit at the table, arms crossed, staring at the wall. Tom thought she was being lazy, until her teacher mentioned Lily was scared to even try, terrified of failing and facing his wrath. Tom's yelling didn't motivate her, it paralyzed her, then made her rebel. That realization crushed him. Have you ever seen that shift in your own child? And it's not just defiance. Yelling can hurt their sense of self. Kids internalize it, "Mom's mad because I'm bad." Over time, that chips away at their confidence and trust in you. They might stop coming to you with problems, fearing the reaction. It's a slow fracture in your bond. Think back to a time someone yelled at you, maybe a boss or a parent. How did it feel? Defensive? Small? Angry? Now imagine feeling that at 4 years old, with no way to process it. That's your child's reality. They don't have the tools to say, "I'm overwhelmed," so they show it by shutting down or fighting back. Here's where it gets tricky. Some argue yelling works short-term, it's quick, they listen, end of story. But does it? Or are we trading a moment of quiet for a mountain of resistance later? The data says the latter. Kids who hear yelling as the norm either tune it out, making it useless, or mirror it, yelling back at you or their siblings. It's a cycle that feeds itself. Back to Sarah and Jake. After that heartbreaking "do you hate me?" moment, Sarah noticed Jake was pulling away. He'd hide when he spilled something, afraid of her voice. Her yelling didn't teach him responsibility, it taught him fear. And for parents like us, that's the opposite of what we want. So, yelling doesn't just fail to correct behavior, it amplifies stubbornness, damages trust, and leaves us feeling rotten too. Guilt creeps in after, right? That's your cue, there's a better way. Let's find it together. Now that we know why yelling backfires, how do we stop? Next, I'll walk you through simple steps to ditch the yelling and build a calmer, stronger connection with your child. Alright, we've seen the problem. Yelling makes kids stubborn and strains our bond. But here's the good news, you can break this habit. It's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. Let's walk through practical steps you can start using today. Step 1. Spot your triggers. Every yell has a spark. Maybe it's when you're tired, or when your child ignores you after the third ask. Pay attention to those moments. Knowing what sets you off gives you a heads up to pause before you erupt. Step 2. Take a breather. When you feel that heat rising, stop. Take 3 deep breaths, seriously, it works, or step into another room for 10 seconds. It's not weakness, it's strength. You're giving yourself space to choose how to respond, not just react. Step 3. Drop the volume, raise the clarity. Speak in a calm, firm tone. Instead of "stop that right now," try, "I need you to stop running inside." Walking keeps us safe. It's direct, not loud, and kids respond better when they don't feel attacked. Step 4. Set rules and consequences ahead of time. Tell your child what's expected and what happens if they don't follow through. Like, toys get picked up before TV. If not, no screen time. Then follow through with calmly. No yelling needed. Step 5. Celebrate the wins. When they listen, praise them. "Wow, you cleaned up so fast, great job." Positive reinforcement beats punishment every time. It builds their confidence and your connection. Remember Sarah and Jake? She tried this. Next time Jake left toys out, she took a breath, knelt down, and said, "Jake, toys need to be away before bed. Let's do it together." He hesitated, but she stayed calm. They tidied up side by side, and he even giggled. No tears, no fight, just teamwork. Over weeks, Jake started cleaning up on his own, knowing Sarah wouldn't explode. That's the power of patience. Model calm, kids mimic you. If you're screaming, they will too. And take care of yourself. A rested parent is a patient parent. 5 minutes of quiet with a coffee can save an hour of chaos. Think about your last yelling moment. Could you have paused? Used a quieter voice? It's okay if you didn't, this is a journey. Start small, maybe with one situation a day, and build from there. You'll slip up, we all do. When you do, apologize. "I'm sorry I yelled, I was upset. Let's try again." It shows your child you're human and teaches them accountability. These steps aren't magic, but they work. You'll see less stubbornness, more cooperation, and a home that feels less like a battlefield. It's about progress, not perfection. Parenting is the hardest job we'll ever love. We yell because we care, because we want our kids to grow up strong and kind. But by letting go of that habit, we give them something better, a safe space to learn, mess up, and trust us. Imagine a day where spills and tantrums don't end in shouts, but in solutions. That's possible, for you, for me, for all of us. You're not a bad parent for yelling, you're a good one for wanting to change. Every calm response is a step toward a stronger bond with your child. They won't remember the perfect house, but they'll remember how you made them feel. Let's make it love, not fear. If you've ever faced this struggle, or found a trick that works, drop it in the comments below. Share your story with me, let's lift each other up. Hit subscribe if you want more ways to tackle parenting mistakes with grace. Thanks for being here, you're doing better than you think.